Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to play Akiya. Let's go. You are a photographer, and high school summer vacation means taking on jobs whenever you can, right? The job you're on today was from your uncle in Tokyo. He's the owner of a real estate agency specializing in Akiya's houses. It's not a field you're particularly familiar with. All you know is that Akiya literally means empty house. From your uncle's description, it seems like all traditional houses are abandoned in more rural parts of Japan and get resold or auctioned for cheaper price. And for this job, he requests that you head over to the Kyoto prefecture to photograph the interior of one of these Akiya houses. Take some nice pictures so potential customer get a better idea of what it looks like inside. It will help to have a photographer really capture the essence of the place. Well, I trust your judgment. With that and ticket to Kyoto, you set off on a day trip to the abandoned house. Hold on, before you go, what is your name? My name? Well then, Mia, I wonder what you'll find. The house was quite a long way from the station, and you make a mental note to memorize the time of the last bus back. Even though it's noon, the streets are quiet. The only sounds you hear are the buzzing of cicadas and the hum of passing trains, occasionally broken by the soft ring of a distant wind chime. Before you, the wooden fence around the Akiya has long withered. Plants fill the gaps left by loose wood and mud. Past the gate, stalks of bamboo pick out from the back of the residence, and patches of wild grass cover the path leading up to the entrance. You wonder how long it takes for grass to grow so tall. Yo, what are you up to? A voice calls out from down the street, interrupting your thought. You look over and notice a boy around your age approaching you. He's wearing a typical school uniform and has a bag thrown over one shoulder. You remember seeing a couple of students in high school uniforms on a bus ride over. Maybe he's a local student? No way, you're planning on sneaking in too? He tilts his head and laughs. The sound is like unpleasant. Wait, no, this is for my job. A job? What for? I'm a photographer and I'm supposed to take a picture of this empty traditional Japanese house. These photos are for my uncle's real estate company. They're going on his website for potential buyers. Seeing him tilt his head to the side, you quickly point toward the camera around your neck. It's a legit project, really, even though maybe I should have gotten it written down somewhere. A photographer, huh? Cool. Say, how about I tag along? So I'll just be going, tag along? Yup, truth be told, I always want to explore this place with someone. He does seem friendly. It's not a little strange for the number of layers he's wearing during summertime. Reading what a local has to say would be interesting, but isn't this guy being a bit too forward? Well, I guess that's fine. Who are you anyways? Right, introduction. You can call me Toa. Toa. Not the kanji for harmony, but eternally. Okay. I'm a second year at Mineyama High. Since we're friends now, you can speak to me casually. Sure. I'm Mia. I've been doing photography as a hobby since middle school. I go to high school in Osaka, but I'm in Kyoto today for this job. Whoa, isn't that a long trip? You must be excited for this job. Yeah. I wish, I just first. I don't get to travel a lot because of school, so I always want to visit Kyoto. It sure is a lot quieter than the big cities in Osaka. It feels like I'm in a nostalgic film. Really? It's always been the same old for me. I love to see what it's like outside this area. I should mention, Towa face lights up and he exactly turns to the Akiya before you. My grandparents used to live in a Kyomachiya like this one here, so I learned a bit about them growing up. So I can point out its cool features for you. Wait, Kyomachiya? Does that word mean a Kyoto townhouse? Yep, they are townhouses that were built in the big cities in Heian, Kyoto. So this place used to be a big city? Nope. I think my grandparents just meant they retained features of the townhouse. Who knows what this street corner looked like back then? The Heian period. Your teacher always talked about how it was a time when Japanese art and literature flourished. This was also when Kyoto was the capital of Japan. Did you make your way to the entrance of the Kyomachiya, dodging a few stray branches and overgrown shrubs? See this here. Toa points to the space beside the entrance. Through the foliage you can make out a wooden bench half obscured by vines and wild grass. This bench would be used for displaying merchandise. Uh, they didn't put them in the windows? Wait, windows looked different back then. I remember this part. Toa laughs, reaching up to to reaching up to move some vines to the side, revealing a row of thin wooden bars in place of typical window. I used to love cooking outside the kyoshi windows at my grandparents' place. Koshi? Kyoshi? As a kid, I would never figure out why you could see outside but not in. Noah was right. Even with the sun beaming down behind you, the interior of the Kyomachiya looked quite dark. Moving closer, you notice a layer of glass behind some of the wooden bars. It looks like this place had some renovation since it was first built. You take a couple pictures of the front garden, careful not to step off the stone path. Mia, help me open this. Toa's waiting for you at the entrance. As you approach, you notice that the Kyomachiya is built on a slightly raised ledge of the ground. With your combined strength, the front door slides open with a soft creak. Toa hums and you step inside. The interior of the Kyomachiya feels like a whole different world. Now that you are inside, the smell of wildflowers and plants is replaced by the soft earthy scent of cedarwood. Beams of light illuminate the large space from the ceiling, causing specks of dust to glimmer as they fall. The space is both brighter and bigger than you first expected. You recall how on map you saw the length of this house looked almost double its width. Before you was a familiar Genkan entrance, a bit more waiter. Everything sure looks worn out. I wonder how long it's been since someone visited. We might be the first in a while. That door kicked up a lot of dust. Past the Genkan, there are a number of small wooden cabinets and drawers with an assortment of old pots and plates scattered about. Items belonging to the previous tenant, no doubt. On both sides, there are rooms with raised floor and tatami mats. And at the back of a long hallway, there is another floor that seems to lead back to the garden. The entrance is ajar, illuminating the space from the back. Check it out! They have a little mascot. As he steps beside you, Toa immediately points to a small hand-sewn plus hanging from the side of the large cabinet. It looks vaguely lobster-shaped, but you can't tell for sure. You are about to step into the tatami room when you suddenly pause, looking over to Toa. Huh? It's been years, and there's already layers of dust on the tatami mats. I'm sure they won't mind. Somewhere my grandparents are looking down with shame. You both issue a silent apology to the owner for stepping on the tatami mat with your shoes on. Oh, that's why. There are other pieces of wooden furniture in the room with tatami mats, Probably abandoned because it would have been more of a hassle to move. You spot a couple of wooden panels leaning against the wall. They look like a thicker version of the cozy windows. Oh, watch your head. Hmm? You quickly turn, only to bump into something hanging from the ceiling, sending a shower of dust down your head. Oof. You cough and cover your nose from the dust, fanning your face before taking a closer look at what you just ran into. The object hanging from the ceiling seems to be an old charm of sorts. It's made of a small wooden plate and bell, attached together with a braided cord. Noah looks like he's trying not to laugh, and you quickly dust yourself off in embarrassment. If it's a good luck charm, maybe it's a sign of good luck. Noah smiles and lightly ruffles your hair to help get the dust off. So, the dust fries, they got me. The Susuatari are going to take me away to a spirit world now. You wave your arms dramatically, causing Toa to laugh. If they do, I'll come find you. But jokes aside, I'll definitely stop you before you turn into any beams. More of what now? Toa points up and you notice that instead of a second story, there seems to be a tall attic held up by wooden beams. Doesn't it look impressive? I heard this house would be built with just natural materials. Materials, the beams are all joined together. Speaking of materials, do you know what these are? You point to the panels at the side of the room. Looks like Fusuma to me. They probably fit on these grooves on the ground. There are indeed grooves on the floor. They seem to section off this room into two. It looks like by adding the Fusuma screens, the room could be adjusted to be smaller or larger than it is now. And it's different from Soji windows. Yep, see how these look more opaque? The Fusuma feels like a thick cloth to the touch. Taking a closer look, there's a faint pattern of what looks to be a landscape painting. While it's mostly faded and you notice scratches on the sides, it's clear a lot of work was put into making them. Say, don't you wonder why people abandon this house? Um, well, I honestly don't know. It's fun to visit, but I just don't think I could get used to living here every day. Right, it's probably a big change from what most people are used to now, huh? I've gotten used to this. I didn't know a lot of these traditional houses were fading out. You must have visited your grandparents a lot then. Oh yeah, that's right. I used to see them all the time. But that was a long time ago. Toa is smiling, but the expression doesn't quite reach his eyes. You get the feeling, despite his cheerful attitude, there's something left unsaid. Well, try to cheer him up. Even though I'm not sure what you've been through, I'll do my best to learn more about this Kyomachiya, so you can chat with me anytime. Since I know how it feels to want to talk about something, but none of your friends know anything about it. Noah smiles and the tension immediately dissipates. Isn't that sweet of you? Do you say that to all the guys you meet? What? You know what? I take back what I said. You cross your arms and turn around while Noah laughs at your reaction. With that, the trace of nostalgia disappears. You suddenly notice a small space in the corner of the tatami room. Say, doesn't this corner look like a pocket shrine? Noah walks over to see what you're pointing at. Ah, it's a tokonoma. My grandparents used to keep their faith here. They said it was for aesthetic appreciation. People usually keep scrolls and flowers arrangement there. You were just pointing at a random corner, but upon closer inspection, the area did look like a space that could fit a small statue or vase. On the wall behind the tokonoma, you notice a groove that could have been used to attach a banner. You try to imagine what this place looked like when it was used as a display. But Pocket Shrine is surprisingly cute description. What was that? Nothing? Geez, you gotta speak up sometimes. By the way, don't you think the tall roofs make this Kyomachiya look extra big? Plus, there's a surprising amount of natural light. You look up trying to look at the skylight along the tall beams. Ah, Mia, that's ledge. What? The floor beneath you suddenly disappears beneath your feet, and you feel yourself falling backward. Before Toa grabs you by the arm, causing you both to stumble off the raised ledge. That you land with a heavy thud, but the ground beneath you feels soft. Toa? Somehow Toa managed to sandwich himself between you and the ground before you landed, taking most of the fall. Are you okay? You frantically look up to Toa. Thankfully, it looks like you've both stumbled onto a patch of dry grass and vines. Behind you, there's what looks like a miniature garden, sitting square in the middle of the house. Don't worry, the textbooks were a nice cushion. Toa laughs and props himself up on one arm, picking out a dry leaf from his hair. From the proximity, you notice that one of his eyes is darker shade of red, and you're basically half laying on top of him. I'm so sorry, I get up right away. You quickly move out of the awkward position, practically jumping to your feet. Of course, offer him a hand. You feel your face burn, quickly offering Toa a hand. Thank you. Toa takes your hand, and despite your embarrassment, you notice his hands are surprisingly cold. Oh no. Wait, you're freezing. Ah, don't worry. Toa quickly pulls his hand back as he stands up, dusting off his sweater. It's just bad circulation. It's nice and cool inside the Kyomachiya during summer after all. You sure you're alright? It's really nothing to worry about. Um, well, he said it's nothing to worry about, so. Well, I still offer him a glove, I guess. But his reassurance falls on deaf ears as you ruffle through your camera bag, pulling out a set of gloves. I've been carrying these around in case my hand gets cold when I'm taking photos. In any case, please put them on. Thank you. Geez, I thought you were strange for wearing the winter uniform in the sun, but I understand now. I didn't make it didn't make me extra mysterious and charming. You you extra susceptible to catching a cold, that's what. You have and quickly turn around, causing Toa to laugh. By the way, why is there a garden here in the first place? I didn't expect one to be sandwiched in the middle of the Kyomachiya. Having an interior garden is more common than you think. Or so I've heard. Toa puts a stray bamboo branch aside, revealing the rest of the garden. The space is smaller than you expected. Only a small patch of sunlight streaks down up from above. Bamboo stalks and a veranda obscure most of the sky above. My grandparents call it the Inoniwa, or Garden of Darkness. That sounds suspenseful. Toa laughs, giving you a playful nudge. Hey, I bet there's a horror novel somewhere about old house out there. And the Suponiwa Garden definitely sounds scarier than something like a chair. You'll be surprised. Say, you mentioned these photos are for real estate company, right? What do you think going to happen to this place after it's sold? I wonder. Hmm, maybe the owner will restore it? You know, do what they can to preserve the traditional culture? I'm sure it will be really cool if younger generation are about to see what this traditional space look like. Ah, that will be nice. I wonder how much they'll change. Well, they probably have to start by cleaning up the place. Oh, and reinforcing it against earthquakes. Shoot, maybe I should have considered that before we just walk in. Hey, these pillars have been holding up surprisingly well all these years. I'm sure you don't have to worry. Hmm, wouldn't that be cool? It would be like a community center where people can visit and learn about traditional culture. I haven't seen one myself, but I read online that they were able to reconstruct a Kyomachiya just in time for the Gion festival. What's that? I heard it was a yearly tradition to ward off epidemics since all the way back to Heian period. Honestly, I'm surprised you haven't been to one since they're held here in Kyoto. Toa laughs, looking away bashfully. What can I say? Guess I've been glued to this street corner all my life. Right, I remember now. My uncle was telling me about how, with the Machiya restored, the community was able to celebrate the Gion festival there again. Wow, that sounds really incredible. Maybe it will turn into a cafe or shop? I heard there's a popular cafe in Kyoto that was actually renovated from an old Akiya. My friends were talking about visiting it together. So maybe the new owner will turn it into a cafe or tea shop? Here, huh? I suppose there's a lot you can do with the big rooms here. I wonder if it will bring a lot of tourists to this area. It will probably be a lot of work, but I'd like to visit a tea house like that. It sounds like it would be really relaxing. Eh? Is that what it will take for you to come back and visit me? Okay, what do you think? What about you? What would you like to happen for this place? To be honest, I'm not sure. I've gotten used to this place the way it always been, just sitting in a quiet corner of the city. It would be nice if everyone could see what this house looked like back in Heian, Japan. But it'd also be nice if we could have more visitors like you. You must be a big fan of history, huh? I just picked up what I heard. My grandparents really loved their place. When I stayed with them, they told me they didn't want to abandon this space out of respect for the older generation. That's the wonderful memories they have couldn't be replaced. While to some people it might not make sense, I think they truly value the heritage of this place. Toa gives you a rueful smile, and you take another look at the Akiya you are standing in. While the furniture is covered by a layer of dust and plants have taken over the front and middle gardens, you imagine what this place would have looked like when it was first built. Running your hand over the smooth walls, you wonder what this place meant to someone in a different time. But looks like I've been reminiscing for a while. Toa smiles and claps both hands together, pulling you from your thoughts. I'm curious, what do you do in your free time, other than photography that is? Well, I sometimes I hang out with friends and sometimes I just spend time alone. Well, aside from studying, I try doing things I enjoy. Sometimes it's going out with friends and sometimes I just feel like reading or playing games. I see. Say, have you visited anywhere cool lately? Well, I haven't been to this place myself, but my friend recommended this shop. They said it's a cafe and manga store in one place. Their partner invited them on a date there, and I heard the cafe is really cozy. I've been meaning to check it out since it's so close to our high school in Osaka. Wait, a manga cafe? I've never been to one before. What is it like inside? You've really been living under a rock, huh? From the picture I saw online, it looks really cozy. You can order a hot drink and read. It's super relaxing. But how about you? What do you usually do in your free time? I what things for a moment. Study? Huh? You just study all the time? Well, I guess it makes sense how you memorize so many facts about the Kyomachiya, but that's just too much. If you didn't have to worry about entrance exams, what would you want to do? Want to, huh? I guess I would love to check out a big manga cafe someday. Going on a date sounds fun as well. Well, I'm sure there's a manga cafe somewhere in Kyoto. Wait, you've never been on a date? With your looks, good personality, respectful to elders, good grades, you've never been asked for a date? Whoa, there now. What are you trying to say? I'll take you on a date. Huh? Ah! Thomas scrambles to cover his face with his hands. Looks like he was just acting cool all this time and didn't expect you to double down. Maybe you could tease him some more. Jeez, if you hate it so much. What? Not at all. I would like that very much. You grin at his flustered expression, giving him a light tap on his shoulder. It's a date then. How about we figure out the details once we're done here? Toa laughs. The sun is warm and reassuring. Sounds good. With a new spring in your step, you make your way toward the end of the hallway. The back door slides open with some difficulty. Stepping outside, you are greeted by the smell of wildflowers and the warm sun on your face. This must be the Okuniwa. It sure is hot out here. Though I was right. The back garden is a lot brighter than the Suboniwa garden. The sound of cicadas fill your ears, and your eyes take a moment to adjust to the sun. The garden is also a lot larger than one tucked in the center of the Kyomachiya. It's filled with stalks of bamboo, wild grass, and perennial trees. Tucked in the corner, finds half obscure what looks to be a stone lantern. The lantern is sitting in front of another structure, most likely a storage space. But the centerpiece of the garden is what catches your eye. At the end of the stone path, a small moss-covered shrine sits against a tall bamboo fence. Wow, the owner must have maintained this well. Approaching the shrine, you notice the detailed stone and wooden carvings that decorate its interior. Looks like a small Shinto shrine. You are vaguely familiar with Shinto beliefs. It's one of the indigenous religions in Japan, where people worship fairy spirits or kami, which represent various forces of nature. You also recall how a teacher said these shrines are considered a sacred space. Toa crouches beside you, admiring the delicate woodworking of the small shrine. Say, do you believe in kami? What is kami? I'm not sure. Well, I'm not so sure myself, but I know a lot of people believe in them to an extent. The term kami is sometimes translated as God or spirit, oh I see. But in reality, they represent many different things, don't they? Ding ding ding! My grandparents told me they can be anything from a creator deity to famous spirits of the dead, even powerful and unnatural phenomena. Aren't they usually worshipped at the shrine or associated with sacred objects? I haven't visited many Shinto shrines, but I heard there's all kinds of kami out there. It's always been interesting to me how people can worship different kami for different purposes. I heard during festival or rituals, you might even able to encounter one. Eh, I suppose that's what some people believe. Sorry, this question was a bit out of the blue. No, I don't mind. I mean, I wonder if this is right for the kami this whole soulmate offerings to. Upon closer inspection, there's a small plaque on its side. While any paint that was once covering the sides have faded, you are still able to make out an inscription in kanji. With your phone's translator app, you may be able to read what it says. Ah, Noah suddenly exclaims, and you look up to see him searching for something in his pocket. Seems like I dropped something on the way. I should go look for it. Oh, I'll come with you. Dot, dot, dot. Thanks, I'll be quick. You quickly grab your bags, taking a couple of pictures of the back garden before the both of you retrace your steps in the Kyomachiya. Toa explained it's a bracelet similar to the one he's wearing, and that it may have fallen out of his pocket along the way. While you carefully scan the rooms you visit, you eventually find yourself at the front of the host to no avail. Geez, I might have dropped it on the way over. I should go back to check. Thanks again for helping me look through. No worries, I can come with you if you like. You swing your camera back over one shoulder, but Toa quickly shakes his head. That's alright, you already done so much. Thank you for spending time with me today. This was the most fun I had in a while. Geez, you gotta relax more often. Next time you should visit me in Osaka. I like that lot. Goodbye, Mia. Toa waves and heads down the street from where he came, and you turn back to the Kyomachiya. While you can call yourself an expert, you feel like you learned just a little more about this traditional Kyoto house today. Maybe you can remember all the small details, names or festivals, or details about kami, but everyone starts somewhere, right? To learn, to pass on knowledge, to believe wholeheartedly that the cultural heritage these Kyomachiya carry is worth the time and effort that goes into renovation, preservation, and raising awareness. Even though you're not an expert, you can appreciate Japanese architecture just a bit more. Plus, you were able to make a new friend along the way. We should exchange contact information. But as you turn and look down the street, Toa is already gone. Will you see him again? Will he come visit you in Osaka? You're not sure, but maybe that's okay too. To exist in a space of nostalgia, to remain as just a fun summer memory. Natural and summer memory. Okay, I think that's it for today. I'll see you on the next video.